Welcome back, YouTube. PPS here, back on another day for YouTube free plays here. It's going to be Thursday's edition. This is our middle day between our Pass the Prop shows. So got to make sure I get you guys plays even when the shows are not on here. So we will do a quick recap from yesterday's Pass the Prop. Luckily, was able to have a great guest in Mr. Vaughn, or V Money Sports. Make sure you follow him. Make sure you follow Montone if you don't already. My two plays cooked them, man. Garland, another massive day, 20-point double-double. It's just becoming clockwork for this man. I think he ended up with like 13 assists or 14. So that was great. And then our 2-unit play destroyed. Jaren Jackson had a massive third quarter. Got in early foul trouble. Really kind of thought this one was done for he had 3 fouls in like 12 minutes. And then that third quarter, he went off. I think he covered it on strictly points. He ended up with 29. And we almost got our long shot. Garland missed by 4. If Garland would have scored 4 more points, we would have gotten to this 1,900 play. Luckily, on its own, I ended up getting Jackson around plus 500 there. So, yeah, it was a great day overall. Great day on Pass the Prop. And we can't wait to have John Hyslop on tomorrow. That should be a really fun show. Hopefully you guys are all able to tune in for that. And yeah, I think it's going to be one of those shows that we have a big day for. So that's all we're going to talk about there for those. Luckily we can come back to you guys with a sweep. Unfortunately, the day before I had probably the worst beat of my life on Toledo team total. It was by far one of the worst ones. They were at 79 points with 6 minutes left in that game. 81 points with 4 minutes left, and with 2.5 minutes left, they were at 83 and did not score another basket. Yeah, like one of the worst ones I've had. So I had to make sure I recap that. I don't think I was able to on the show last time, but we got a couple of my cash cows in play today. I'm going to have one of them obviously on the card. But first one, I'm going to actually roll with a team that I've been kind of fading lately. But what I just think is a disrespectful line here. Marshall, they are the herd here. I'm going to roll with their first half -1 at -110. I have 1.25 units on it because Marshall has lost 7 straight games. So that makes me a little weary. I would, with the amount of info I have and with the amount of information I have in analysis, I feel like this should be a 1.5 unit play. But just since they've been playing so terribly, I'm going to just put it at 1.25. But yeah, 7 straight losses for Marshall. But Marshall is so much better strength of schedule than FIU. FIU is probably one of the worst teams in the country, in my opinion. All right, FIU has the second worst non-conference schedule, strength of schedule in the country. So do not look at records here. I obviously know Marshall's record is not as good as FIU. I believe FIU is 10-7, but look in the conference, they're 0-4. Marshall is 0-4. And so, yeah, they started out the season, FIU did 10-3. But like I said, second worst non-conference schedule in America. They rank 308 on the offensive side. And they're going against defenses, like the strength of the defenses are playing, rank bottom 20 overall accumulative. So there's really not much to say. This offense is trash. And obviously the biggest thing for Marshall is not scoring the ball. It is them giving up points. And with this offense as bad as it is, I really don't think that Marshall's going to have as big of an issue as they did with like your Toledo's or Louisiana Tech. Both those teams are very good, and yes, they blew them out, but their offenses are very, very good. And I think that we're going to definitely see a good game here from Marshall. Marshall's speed in this game is going to be huge. They're going to be pushing FIU up 7 possessions in this game. And Marshall's playing at the 4th fastest pace in the country here. And the biggest thing is they're going to have the best player on the floor. Kinsey is an absolute beast. This line, like I said, it is scary with a team that's playing that terribly. But Marshall does, like I said, going to by far have the best player on the court. And they've played a very tough strength of schedule. Last time FIU was at home, they played Bethune-Cookman, and they were down 15 at half. So they obviously don't really care if it's at home, if they're playing bad teams. So they were down 15 to Bethune-Cookman in the first half at home. They were only up 7 on a non-Division I team, St. Thomas out of Florida. They were only up 7 on those guys in the first half. And then they lost to Old Dominion by 3 at half. And those are their last 3 home games in the first half. So they do start out pretty terribly at home. And don't forget, Marshall, I get they're on a bad run, but they were playing at Indiana and were winning in that game at halftime. So this team, I mean, obviously they haven't been playing well as of late, but I still think Kinsey is by far going to be the biggest difference maker in this game. And they've played tough teams. That's the biggest thing, is they're going to have way better strength of schedule. They're going to have a lot better, I believe, success in this game that they had in prior games, especially on this little cold streak that they're on. Kinsey's averaging still over 20 a game here. And I think that he's going to have a massive night for the Herd tonight here in Marshall. So that's going to be play number 1. I really like that play. Like I said, I would probably have more on it if they weren't currently on a 7-game losing streak. But that's how you beat the books, right? You got to get there before everybody else does. And I think that we are on the right side in this one. And you guys know, one of my favorite teams in the country, the Cadets of VMI. I'm on team total over 82.5, 2 units, minus 110. These guys have been a monster for me. The only time they have lost for me, I'm 5-1 on the Cadets. Knock on wood. The only time they lost was when that guy went 9 for 9 from deep, and I believe they ended up scoring like 98 points on him, which is tough. But I don't care if they give up 90 points as long as VMI scores. 83, we win this bet. 81% free throws has actually been going up this season. We're playing against Samford, who's going to be a pace-up spot here for VMI, almost a full possession and a half. And they rank 280 on defensive efficiency. They really can't stop anybody. And they do run a press. Kirkman should be able to break that pretty easily. And usually these pressing teams do struggle with fouls. And that obviously leads right into VMI's comfortability at the line, which I really like. I wouldn't be surprised to see 25 plus made free throws from this VMI side. So we're getting extra possessions. 90th, they are moving up again in offensive efficiency. They're at 90th in adjusted offense here. And like I said, the press should lead to quicker possessions and more opportunities for us to score the basketball here for VMI. VMI's biggest issue is their defense. When they rank 313 in the country in defensive efficiency, which is fine here. And I think that actually helps for a team that's going to be pressing and a team that doesn't have a good defense here. So if they're going to press and the other side's going to have a bad defense, hopefully those presses lead to quick layups on both sides. Hopefully we see this game go up and down. We're seeing about a 161 total. So they're expecting points here, and I'm expecting it from the VMI side the most. I love this team. I like I said, I will probably be betting them probably almost every single game here going forward, as long as it's not like against like your Furmans or some of the other top teams in this country, or in this conference. But I really like VMI tonight. And like I said, I really like that Marshall play as well. Obviously a little bit more confidence in the VMI Cadets, which is why we're rolling with them for 2 units. So thank you guys so much. We're pushing up to 800 subscribers. Hopefully we get to the 1K mark shortly. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are the best. I appreciate every single one of you. Drop a like if you're going to be tailing these. I always like to see who's all riding with us. And I will see you tomorrow for Pass the Prop with our special guest, Mr. John Hyslop. I'm very excited tomorrow to break down some NFL with you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a good night, and let's get another sweep.